Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little fall book haul. I usually don't really do book hauls on my channel just because I usually buy books like one by one. I never really have a collection of books to talk about, but Barnes & Noble recently had their 50% off hardcover book sale, and I've just been kind of buying books left and right, so I thought today we could do a little book haul, a little book unboxing. I have all of my books right there to talk about. I'm so excited to open these books with you, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So this is the little stack of books that we're going to talk about in today's little book haul. I'm going to start with two books that are not in a box, so we don't need to unbox anything. I just recently bought these. They were actually in my last video, but I haven't talked about them yet. In my last video, I did a besties choose my reads, and I had my sister and her fiance choose what books that I should read for a week, and we had to go to Barnes & Noble for that. And while they were shopping for my books, I ended up getting some books. So first, I ended up getting Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I have seen this book a lot of times at Target, and it never really caught my eye until I think I saw a TikTok explaining kind of the storyline of this book, and I thought it was so interesting. So our main character's cousin ends up getting married, and basically, from my understanding, the cousin sends a letter and the main character ends up visiting her. It's in this countryside sort of mansion in Mexico, and she starts having, I believe, like visions of bad things that are happening, and it's supposed to be just this eerie sort of thriller. So I'm very excited for this. I'm excited to see the writing. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this book, but I'm looking forward to reading it. So I got this, and then the other book that I got during that Barnes trip is Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I think this is one of the prettiest covers that I have ever seen. It is so beautiful, and I'm so happy that I got the hardcover of this. So this is a Shakespeare retelling. Also, look at the end papers are gorgeous. You're kidding. The inside of the book says, "The lady knows the stories, how her eyes induce madness in men. The lady knows she will be wed to the Scottish brute, who does not leave his warrior ways behind when it comes to the marriage bed. The lady knows his hostile, suspicious court will be a game of strategy, requiring all of her wiles and hidden witchcraft to survive. But the lady does not know that her husband has an occult secret of his own. She does not know that her magic is greater and more dangerous, and that it will threaten the order of the world. She does not know this yet, but she will." I'm so excited to read this. I don't fully know what it's going to be. I feel like it's kind of giving fantasy vibes, but yeah, the cover is beautiful, and that little description of the book made me really excited to read this. So those are the two books that I got at Barnes pretty recently, and now let's get into the other books in this video. I feel like I can't speak today. I really badly need a coffee right now, but I'm not gonna have one. Next, I have a book that I bought on Amazon. Around this time last year, I read the book Bad Luck Charm. That is by Julie Johnson. It was one of my 5-star reads. I did a reading vlog for it. I absolutely enjoyed the book. I loved it so much. I just thought it was really cute, and I don't know, it was a fun little fall read. And Julie Johnson came out with the second book in this series. I believe this came out earlier this year, but I've been saving it for this fall. So this is a series that takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, if I'm remembering correctly. So this book takes place in a sort of like fall atmosphere town. I don't remember if it's Salem, Massachusetts, or if it is a different town. I can't remember off the top of my head. But book one, our main character has basically like some sacrifices that happen in front of her. She runs an occult shop, and so there is a private detective that they have a long history. The private investigator is basically trying to find out who, hey, you can see that my pants are unbuttoned. Didn't know that. First book, the private investigator is helping the girl figure out who left the sacrifices and if she is in danger, really just trying to help her out. This is book two, about another character that you meet in book one. I'm not sure necessarily what this book is about. The back says, Imogen Warner has spent 10 years running scared. After a childhood in the spotlight, the clairvoyant left home at 15 without looking back. In the decades since, she's moved from place to place like a ghost, keeping her head down, her powers hidden, and her name out of newspapers. But anonymity, whatever, is no longer an option when she finds herself in Salem, Massachusetts. So the book does take place in Salem. Despite Imogen's initial determination to hold everyone at arm's length, she's quickly caught up in the unique magic of the town and its eccentric residents. She feels at home for the first time in forever, at least until an annoyingly persistent and annoyingly handsome local detective demands that she uses her unique abilities to help solve his latest case. So I really liked the first book because obviously you had the little bit of like mystery with the private detective detective, and then you also have the storyline of the romance itself. But also it was just such a like cute, giggly, feel-good fall book. So I'm so excited to read this. I also really like because it's like a thick paper, so you can highlight and like go to town with annotating it. Next, I have another box. Honestly, I don't remember all of the books that I ordered from Barnes, so this is going to be a surprise for you and for me. Okay, I do remember this book, ordering it. I'm so excited I was able to get this on the Barnes sale for half off. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Atlanta by Jennifer Saint. So this is another Greek mythology retelling story. I really love reading Greek mythology books, anything like a retelling or just the history of Greek mythology. Literally right here, I have a lot of Greek mythology related books. I want to read some more retellings. This is about Princess Atlanta. I know nothing about if this is a real character in Greek mythology or if this is not. I've personally never heard of this person, but the inside says princess, warrior, lover, hero. When Princess Atlanta is born, a daughter rather than a son her parents hope for, she is left on the mountainside to die. But even then, she is a survivor. Raised by a mother bear under the protective eye of goddess Artemis, Atlanta grows up wild and free. Just one condition: if she marries, Artemis warns it will be her undoing. Although she loves her beautiful forest home, Atlanta yearns for adventure. When Artemis offers her a chance to fight in her name alongside the Argonauts, the fiercest band of warriors the world has ever seen, Atlanta seizes it. The Argonauts' quest for the Golden Fleece is filled with impossible challenges, but Atlanta proves herself equal to the men she fights alongside. As she's swept in a passionate affair in defiance of Artemis's warning, she begins to question the goddess's true intentions. Can Atlanta carve out her own legendary place in a world of men while staying true to her heart? That sounds really interesting. This is just a beautiful, beautiful book. I just had to pause filming for a little bit. Now Stella's drinking water. They're doing the lawn stuff outside, so they were walking around with the leaf blower, and then Stella was playing with the water bottle for a little bit. I have my little box of other books that I ordered. So I ordered A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. This was the YA book club pick from Barnes, and this also, I believe, is the exclusive edition cover of this book. It's beautiful. Oh my god. I really like those. Those are really pretty. Oh, cute. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And I'm not gonna lie, no idea what this book is about, don't remember. I don't know how to say the main character's name. I'll put it on the screen. Has never let herself long for more. The magic in her blood that lets her stitch emotions and memories into fabric is the same magic that'll eventually kill her. Determined to spend the little time she has left guaranteeing a better life for her family, main character's name, don't know how to say it, jumps at the chance to design the wardrobe for a royal wedding in the neighboring kingdom of Avaland. But Avaland is far from the fairy tale she imagined. While young nobles attend candlelit balls and elegant garden parties, unrest brews among the working class. The groom himself, Kit Carmine, is prickly, abrasive, and begrudgingly being dragged to the altar as a political pawn. But when and Kit grow closer, an unlikely friendship blossoms into something more until an anonymous gossip columnist starts buzzing about their chemistry, promising to leave them alone only if helps to uncover the royal family's secrets. The rot at the heart of Avaland runs deep, but exposing it could risk a future she never let herself dream of and a love she never thought possible. I think why I got this book is that little synopsis kind of reminded me of the feeling that the first Once Upon a Broken Heart book gave me. I don't know if it's going to be similar at all. It could probably be so beyond different from that book, but I got this book. I'm not in my fantasy vibe right now. I'm not in my fantasy era, but I'm hoping with some of these books, they're going to be my fall reads that I'll get into a little bit more of a fantasy vibe. This next book I'm very excited about. So this is a dystopian book, and I've not really heard a lot about new releases in the dystopian genre. I think Red Rising is technically dystopian. I think that's more of sci-fi, but I think this cover is beautiful. Common theme of this entire video is all of the covers of books that I bought are beautiful. But so holy the font is not that small, but the font right there is very tiny. So the year is 2050. That is a little close for comfort. Ava and her girlfriend live in what's left of Brooklyn, and though they love each other, it's hard to find happiness while the effects of climate change rapidly eclipse their world. Soon it won't be safe to be outside at all. The only people guaranteed survival are the ones whose applications are accepted to the Inside Project, a series of weather-safe city-sized structures around the world. Jacqueline Millender is a reclusive billionaire women's rights advocate advocate, and thanks to a generous donation, she's just become the director of the inside being built on the bones of Manhattan. Her ideas are unorthodox yet alluring. She's created a whole brand around rethinking the very concept of empowerment. Shelby, a famous business major from a working class family, is drawn to Jacqueline's promises of power and impact. When she lands her dream job as Jacqueline's personal assistant, she's instantly swept up into the glamorous world of corporatized feminism. Also drawn into Jacqueline's orbit, why can't I say that word, is Olympia, who is finishing up medical school when Jacqueline recruits her to run Inside's health department. The more Olympia learns about the project, though, the more she realizes there's something much larger at play. But yeah, that's this book. I'm very excited for it. I might read it next month. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, so if you've read this or if you've heard anything, let me know what you think about it. I want to try and find more like adult dystopian books, just because I loved that genre as a kid, and I think I would still enjoy reading it as like news stories nowadays. Next, I have Sophie Wan's Women of Good Fortune. I believe this is a rom-com, if I'm remembering correctly. Lulu has always been taught that money is the ticket to a good life. So when Shanghai's most eligible bachelor surprises her with a proposal, the only acceptable answer is yes, even if the voice inside of her is saying no. His family's fortune would solve all of her parents' financial woes, but Lulu isn't in love or ready for marriage. The only people she can confide in are her two best friends, career-minded Rena, who is tired of being passed over for a promotion while her male colleagues are rewarded, and Jane, a sharp-tongued luxury-chasing housewife desperate to divorce her husband and trade up. Each of them desires something different: freedom, time, beauty. None of them can get it without money. Lulu's wedding is the golden opportunity, the social event of the season. It means more than enough cash gifts to transform women's lives to steal the money on the big day. All they'll need is a trustworthy crew and a brilliant plan. But as the plot grows increasingly complicated and relationships are caught in the crossfire, the women are forced to face having it all might come at a steep price. So I think this is, from what I saw about this book on like the reviews and books that it would be similar to, it kind of feels like a mix of like Crazy Rich Asians mixed with like Ocean's 8. I've never seen Ocean's 8, so that could be a big fat lie. It is supposed to be this sort of like women friendship stealing from men type of fun read. I'm also very excited for this. And again, I absolutely just love the covers of all of the books in today's video. This is stunning. I didn't realize that the gold was going to be like shimmery metallic like that, so that's beautiful. This next book I don't really remember. Sorry, I just saw the book that I'm going to talk about after this. This book, I don't really remember what it's about. This is Strange Unearthly Things. It says hell is coming for him, but so is she. I've never seen this. I saw this on the sale and I was like, okay. I think this is a YA book. That leaf blower is making me want to like jump off a cliff right now. This book, it says 18-year-old Jane Ray is a psychic artist. She draws what she sees, and what she sees are spirits and the supernatural. That makes a lot of sense because the cover is very much giving like penciled drawing, and even you can kind of see this. It looks like there's like charcoal or like dirt all over it. And at first I thought it was just a dirty book, but no, that's probably like a strategic thing with the book. Anyways, growing up orphan, she's now of legal age and can no longer return to the girls' school that she's called home for most of her life. Not that she cares to. So when Jane receives an invitation to English Manor, Fairfax Hall, to take part in an investigation of the property that requires her area of expertise, which girl is what? Anyways, she jumps at the opportunity. Jane understands this will be no ordinary study when she meets Elias Thornfield, the elusive proprietor of the estate. Roguishly handsome and mysterious boy her age. Though Jane's not the only one curious about Elias. There are also sort of telepathic and unfairly charming Giovanni and psychic influencer Ingrid, who specializes in tarot readings, both of whom were also tasked with ridding the property of oppressive forces. Immediately, it becomes clear to all of them that something is amiss at Fairfax, something having to do with Elias and the sinister activity taking place around the manor. So, and then the back is actually, I'm assuming, what is the letter that Elias writes to her to get her to go there. Maybe I'll read this in like October. This could be like a fun little spooky read. So the last book in this little haul, I did not realize, so this is actually, it's just printed on the hardcover. That's not a little sleeve. And then I didn't realize, but this is like rose gold, like shimmery pages. That looks so cool. So this is the Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive version. And the back of this book says, 3 girls, 1 supernatural killer on the loose. Zara Jones believes in magic because the alternative is too painful to consider. consider, that her murdered sister is gone forever and there is nothing that she can do about it. Rather than grieving and moving on, Zara decides she will do whatever it takes to claw her sister back from the grave, even trading in the occult. Jude Wolfe may be the daughter of a billionaire, but she is also undeniably cursed. After a deal with a demon that went horribly wrong, her soul has been slowly turning necrotic. It's a miserable existence marred by pain, sickness, and monstrous things that taunt her in the night. Now that she's glimpsed what's beyond the veil, Jude's desperate to find someone to undo the damage that she's done to herself. Enter Emmer Byrne, no idea how to say that name, an orphaned witch with a dark past and deadly power, aka the solution to both Zara and Jude's problems. Though Emmer lives a hardscrabble life, she gives away her most valuable asset, her invocations, to women in desperate situations who are willing to sacrifice a piece of their soul in exchange for a scrap of power. Zara and Jude are willing, but they first have to find Emmer. When Emmer's clients start turning up dead all over London, a vital clue leads Zara and Jude right to her. If a serial killer is targeting her clients, Emmer wants to know why and to stop them. She strikes a tenuous alliance with Zara and Jude to hunt a killer before they are next on his list, even if she can't give them in return what Zara and Jude want most, a sister and a soul. So yeah, that's another one that I think is going to be really fun for October. And again, that's just a beautiful book. That's so cute. I don't really buy a lot of books that have cool end pages, but that's just such cool sprayed edges. I've never seen sprayed edges that are metallic. I'm so impressed by that. That was my little book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll probably be reading these books in my next few videos and in many of my videos that come out this fall. So make sure to stay tuned. I love you. I will see you in my next video.